I know.
I'm Roxy from Dress for a Night.
And I'm Joel from Mr Fierze Suit Hire.
And we are neighbours in North Sydney.
And we are colourful now. We're not in black.
We learned from last time. We were talking about how we would go and buy black things, and we're both wearing black. So this time,
I know.
we made sure
and
that
we felt
colourful.
guilty because we're the owners of all the sequins. Why did you wear something sequin today?
Next video.
You should ask me the same thing.
Okay, next video, I'm going to wear a ball gown and you wear a tuxedo.
Okay. You're on.
So today's video, I get to ask you the question.
I know.
And we've got our trusty little fishbowl with folded questions.
Alrighty.
So are you ready to pick your question?
Okay, I'm not going to pick the one right now.
Close your eyes. You can't cheat.
It's not like it.
Okay. First question.
Look at me like wanting to see.
I'm asking you questions.
This is how much I need to know what's happening.
You know I could make up the questions. I could just...
Oh, I read it already.
It's going to be great.
This is why I don't like surprise parties. One thing you don't know.
I hate surprise parties, but I love surprising other people for their birthday.
Yes, because you're organizing.
Yeah.
So you know, you're in control of everything. The thing with surprise parties is you're not in control of it. Don't throw a surprise party.
First question. How did you get started?
Oh, it's a rightful question. Let's get into it. So I started because I was working as head of marketing for Tony & Guy, and I was in the hair industry, the beauty industry, and prior to that I was working with a hair salon in WA, so Aveda based, and it's always been fashion, but from the corporate side of fashion and beauty and hair. And I, you know, like similar to when we spoke to you about events and you attending your black tie, I had the same issue. Like I had so many events to attend and, you know, add on product launches and like, there's an event for everything in the fashion and beauty industry. Like,
and I guess your hair would have to be perfect and everything else.
And, you know, funny fact, I get my hair done every 1.5 weeks. And
1.5 weeks?
Every 1.5 weeks, I need it like
it does look perfect. And it's very windy outside, anyone can see it.
Exactly. So many events to attend, and I had the issue of, you know, I could either go and buy a suit every single time or I could look at hire. Buying was so expensive. Suits are not cheap. They're very pricey, especially if you want.
How much is the average suit?
Oh man, like if you want a good, like starting good quality suit, essentially you're gonna spend minimum $500.
Whoa!
Jacket and pants. So imagine doing that for 2 or 3 different events a week. And you know, like in that circle, like you said, every time you're with the same people and you meet the same people in the industry, people remember what you wear. You know, as much as we don't want to admit it, it sounds vain, but it does happen. Like you remember it, it's all over Instagram. It's like, oh.
If you post on Instagram, it has to be.
And it's like, he wore that last time. And it's even more so with women, I'd imagine. So that's how I came up with the idea. I was like, there must be a better way to do this. Let me look at hire. When I did, there were suit hire places. Suit hire itself is not a new notion.
Because it makes me think of like the American prom.
So yes, whatever you're thinking in your head. Like when I thought about it, I thought top coats, like morning, you know, the suit tails.
Top hats?
Yes. So why did I say top coats? Top hats, yes. That's the word I was looking for. So very traditional hire. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna wear these things to like a red carpet.
Because you rent this?
Yeah, because I rent like Dolce & Gabbana and like red silk stuff and designer based things. And I pulled a lot of inspiration from the women's side. So, you know, I looked at your business as well and I was like, you know, they're renting out stylish things, you know, things you want to be seen in today. So that's how I came about. I went out on a limb, bought my own suits, like shopped around online and just bought 20 suits out of my own pocket, had one rack at home and just decided to take appointments and see how it goes. And by gosh, I was worried when I first started. I was like, are men really going to plan their outfits, you know, like women in advance? True enough, they did plan their outfits. And even though it was last minute, you had a big group of people, like guys that were like, oh, my suit doesn't fit, shit, now I need to call someone, like call him.
Do you remember your first customer?
No, I don't. I remember my first group of clientele, but not the very first. But you always remember those times of like when you started. It was in my living room in Neutral Bay. So it was my little townhouse and it was my living room. You had a TV there, you had a sofa, and then you had these racks of suits. And that's how we started. And I remember every appointment would teach me something, especially in those times when you're like, shit, the dining table is so messy, I need to clean that up. And then for the next line, you realize, okay, I really need to hide that off. So then you go and buy a border, you can buy a wall that you can like fold, a foldable wall thing. Then for the next one, you're like, oh, there's not enough lights for me to look at the suit. Then you got to buy lighting to fit that area. So that whole first year, I think, was like a lot of learning. It was really fun. And it was really it was really nice to start seeing guys respond to the idea, because that really was the first time. And to see them sort of like, because it's been an idea in your head.
Yeah.
And to see people like respond to it and then come to you and ask for advice and experience the same issues that you were talking about in your head about why you need this business. So really was very good. So.
Nice. And I think it would add to the charm as well if you're coming to somebody's lounge.
Yeah, and I that really sort of like, interestingly enough, gave birth to the whole Mr Fierze experience, which we're now like known for. So now we're just known for this one-on-one, very personal, very like my time is my time with you, as opposed to like having 500 other clients in your store. Ours is like very appointment based, very private. And now that I'm looking at opening the store next to you, I am now looking at incorporating that whole one-on-one experience, because suiting is so it's very like appointment, very sort of like you want to give the luxurious feel with men, and that's how the business was built.
Because I know you've mentioned before, you do the whole experience. You do the suit, the shirt, what else goes on it?
I mean, so
I'm looking at you, I'm like,
she's picking out what I'm wearing, so I had to make sure I grabbed a pin today. We do the whole lot. When we first started, we just started with suits. But then there was a demand for shirts. And then from shirts, it extended to cufflinks, because you need to cuff the shirts. We stopped French cuffs, so then you needed cufflinks. From that, we needed tie clips. And then you needed lapel pins, now that we're known for these big brooches on the suits. And pocket squares. But in that demand, I also found that guys didn't know how to style themselves. So then it became, one part of the business was hire, the other part of it was of styling experience. It's like, because guys didn't know how to pair everything up. They would never call me up and say, I need a pin today to hire for my suit. No one would ever do that. But coming there, and I usually use this as my strategy, is to style them in everything. So I style them in what I think looks good on them first, based on our conversation. I obviously don't talk to someone who's like, very subtle and then put a, freaking big flower on there. But it's sort of getting to know them, getting to know their style, and then styling them up in what I think looks good in them. And it almost always something that, guys are very visual. They need to see how things look. The moment they see everything paired up very well, they sort of like, it opens up their world to like, that looks really nice. Do you have any others? Can I explore that?
What else is there?
Yeah, so that's when it becomes this whole conversation of all the different things. Even with the bow ties, God knows, like my clients can attest to the fact that there's a classic bow tie, there's a premium bow tie, then there's one that's less. If I straight away put a price list and just told what do you want, they'll be like, God, I want the.
You want to see the nice things.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, but then they have got to visually, see the different bow ties and have this whole. So it became this whole experience. So I've got, like wedding groups that come to me and a group of guys, and I sort of create an experience around that. Like I serve beer for a wedding groom party. We've even got whiskey on the rocks now, which I really want to build on eventually. Have a drink, sit down, look at the fabrics, look at the jacket. We talk about the theme of your event. We talk about what you want to achieve, and only then we take them to dress. We don't really, it's not our format to, have them go flick through the rack, because men don't know what they want. Like it's all visual. It's all, let's understand what you want, and then I can show you the 3 options that I have.
Nice. So it sounds like the whole experience, very personal. Yeah. And you're going to continue that same experience.
Yeah, so it's all about experience, store. And I'm going to continue that in the store, and and just try and keep it as personable as possible.
And I have another question for you that's not in the
goal. Okay.
Where do you take your inspiration from?
I think I have grown up with this interest in fashion. So I have always been the one that reads GQ magazine and look around the web, and I'm on Instagram like before I sleep. I'm one of those that sort of says
Instagram and TikTok.
Yes, I'm going to bed now. TikTok just came about. Now I am addicted. I say I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock and then I end up sleeping at 12 because I've been scrolling
for fashion though.
For fashion,
yeah.
And
for work.
dancing and other things. We'll not get into that. But yes, I get my inspiration from everywhere. A lot of it is social media, what the celebrities are wearing, and also the trends of Fashion Week. I followed it for a long time, and being in the industry, it's helped me to know, Fashion Week is on. What is LV doing? What's Dior doing? A lot of these big brands predict, like they really control.
It took me a while to figure out LV. I was like ELV. Okay, I get it.
You want that to go on the video?
But you follow the brands, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And how often do you get new things?
You see, this was one of my learnings too, was when I first started, really my business changed. When I first started the business, I thought it was all about statement pieces. So I thought, let's go for the sequin jacket. Let's go for the ones that really stand out, that guys would hire but not buy. As we went on, I found that guys even wanted just classic suits. Like they just wanted classic suits but styled beautifully. Or styled with a subtle statement. Could be a black tuxedo, but a really good quality black tuxedo. Good designer, fit really well. Fit is very big with us, with suiting. And maybe just one gold pin to make it stand out and finesse, that effortless finish. So the business changed to become all about styling and really good designers, really good fit. With suiting, I'm very lucky. It's not very seasonal. Like, you do have your smart casual range, which is what I'm wearing today. And then you'll have your black tie range, and then you've got like your really statement stuff, like the sequin and the Dolce & Gabbana prints and all that. But it never goes out of style. It's sort of like always restyled to look really good. So my buying's I've now limited my buying to, maybe autumn, winter, spring, summer. I like that formula of having 2 big drops, and then I would scatter my statement stuff, like a Dolce & Gabbana drop in maybe like 3 times a year. And they're very varied. They're very they fall under those categories of racing, formal, black tie, smart casual. So maybe like 6 drops in the year, 2 big ones.
That sounds like a lot.
I mean, after doing it for 2.5 years, we've now got a formula down pat. Initially, the first year I was just buying, I was like, oh my god, shopping, and I've got a business card, let's just buy. And God knows I learned a lot from that. Because the bills creep up and they come back to bite you.
They do.
So.
But I like what you're saying, and I can definitely liken it to dresses. A dress that fits well will never go out of fashion, because and I'm sure a suit is the same. It just shows off it hugs in all the right places and looks amazing. And that's, for us, our best sellers sometimes are the underdogs, the ones that you don't expect to be best sellers, because once you put them on, they just look so amazing.
Exactly. And with suiting, especially suiting, a good fit is meant to accentuate your good assets and it's meant to hide your flaws. That's why a lot of guys go for the made-to-measure and the bespoke sort of suiting. And I was very big when I first started the business. I knew I was never going to skimp on the fit, and I wanted guys to feel like this is a made-to-measure fit, but it was actually high-end. So that's kind of one of my golden sort of rule at the back was it's all about fit. It's stuff that don't go out of style, and it's beautiful fabrics that I can dry clean 500 times and they still look brand new. I'm very lucky with suiting, especially with the way wool works and stuff. They don't really they don't fade. They just look good, and they almost get better with fit over time. But it is all about the fit. Having a nice black tuxedo and the fit is just perfect. Guys still go crazy for a nice black tuxedo.
It makes sense. How do you alter them at all though? How do you make sure that you get that made-to-measure feel when it's actually random?
So suiting has quite a few fits. You've got a super slim fit, you've got a slim fit, you've got a tailored fit, so you've got ones that are for the larger guys. You've got ones even for the ones that are a little bit muscly. So guys that, you know, very slim on the
if you're
waist.
wider there, then it's
Yeah,
gotta-
wide here, slim on the waist. So then how do you battle that? So I am very like big on the fit. So when I was looking for my designers, I only went for designers that I knew their fit was for that physique. And also there's a whole other range where, you know, guys with a little bit more extra flabs and, you know, in a nice way. God knows I dip my hand into that collection sometimes when I've eaten too much after this quarantine period. With just a little bit more extra room around the waist, you know. And I don't really stock super slim because my market is really the guys that are slightly larger and the guys that go to the gym. So it's very clear, my clientele became very clear that that was the market that I was going for. The guys that appreciated fit and style and design. So I've got all my suits fall very well on your body. The only thing that I ever need to temporarily adjust is the jacket sleeve length.
Okay.
So we do a temporary blind stitch on them. So the length,
Okay.
you know, your shirt is meant to show maybe about 1 to 1.5 centimeters when you're wearing your suit with your white shirt. So it gets folded there, and then your pants. Your pants is very big with the hemming. So we blind stitch your pants hem too. And everyone's very fascinated with this. How do you stitch it and get it back to normal? So we share the same tailor, you know that.
He's pretty great.
Yeah, let's give him a shout out. Tom Taylor, not
Tom
Sydney.
Taylor.
Very, very good. I've brought so many clients to there.
Me too. And he's really lovely too.
Yeah, very easy to get along.
Hi Tom.
He's like
Do you
a
reckon?
Friday humor. I love it.
Every day.
Everyday humor.
I wonder how we can get him to watch this video. We'll figure
I
something
wonder how
out.
we can get him to move next door. That was our big project next. Does that answer the question before?
It does.
There you
Very.
go.
Super interesting though, because I guess I know everything about women's fashion, but it's
Yeah.
really interesting to see men's fashion because I have to go suit shopping with my husband every now and again, and it's
Which reminds me, you
officially
need to bring him in soon.
yes. Well, we can go somewhere
Yeah.
again because we're currently it's the 2nd of May, so COVID. Well, we can go places.
There you go.
Yes.
Now
great.
when we are open, when the store, all we need to do is just duck next door.
So great. Go everywhere. But suit shopping is really boring, so I'm very excited to send him off. Because that'd be the other benefit, that then, like the females,
Exactly.
don't have to sit in a stuffy chain store where they're trying on a million shirts. Like, do you like this one? Like, I don't care. It's a white shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Go
And
see
you know
Joe.
what's really funny that you said that is that watching our Instagram and stuff, guys want that experience on their own. So they almost sort of like set their own appointment to come and see us without their partner first to have a conversation. And I think they feel like, you know, once I get this sorted and I get all the help, like I almost want to surprise my girlfriend at how good I look. And it happens so many times.
Sounds so great.
And he's actually really good. Like they love when, you know, their girlfriend's like, oh shit, you look really good. You put in a lot of
You look
effort.
nice.
How did you style the pin? It's really funny, I should say this. Like the biggest, like the suits are a given that, you know, with the statement, they're all stand up. But the ones that always surprise people at events is the pin. The pin and the pockets where they're like, how did you put that pin with that suit and how did you pair that up? So guys take a lot of pride in like, oh yeah, you know, that goes well together.
I'm just really fashionable.
Exactly. So it's really nice to see that reaction.
Nice.
That's the biggest feedback we get. It's the pin. No one expected that and how did you put that together?
Very cool.
So yeah.
All right.
So I
do
get
you
to my
want
next question. That was
Here
like
you
the
go.
long answer.
I know. I feel like I kind of broke the
You know,
rules.
she's
out
doing
of
very
things.
well today as a reporter. So there you go.
It's just really interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, you're like,
Yeah.
yes, this is what we're here. Let's For some reason, when I put my questions, I closed my eyes and then
I
put
know.
my hand in. Why
well,
did I
that's
do that?
because yours was not folded. Don't forget. I folded it.
Dun, dun. What trend are you crushing on right now?
Oh man. During this COVID time, trying to my crushing on PJs.
I was going to say, I feel like for the video content, we have to tell people that we're
Yes.
currently they're easing restrictions on COVID, but
Yeah.
still no events at the moment. So we can't wait for events.
What is it
Let's-
today? 2nd of May?
2nd of May.
There you go. I
So-
lost count.
Well, let's
every
assume-
day seems to be like a day. It's not Monday, it's not Tuesday, it's a day.
A day. Yeah. It's Saturday. But it doesn't feel like it. It's a fun Saturday.
No, yeah, it's beautiful. Weather's, well, windy outside.
So let's
Beautiful.
assume that we can go to events tomorrow.
Yes.
Restrictions are lifted. Actually, your clients that are currently coming in, because I know you mentioned you have a lot of weddings that are currently shopping for this year or later this year and next year. What's your favorite trend for them?
With weddings, it's very interesting. It's not really about trends for our wedding side. Weddings is really about understanding what they're after and like their season. So while we're in winter and them shopping for their wedding in summer, they might be having a wedding in Bali. So it really for me is all about the consult. When I'm talking to them, because
here's the thick wool suit that you can take to Bali.
I would really love to push suits on clients, but ours is very consult based. So it might be a wedding in Bali, and he might say, "I really want that sort of like a effortless suited look." Then I'd sort of like go for the off-white and the beige linen looks, you know, with the beach or with the garden, a nice beige linen, the linen texture.
I'm biased because I got married in Byron Bay and he wore a linen suit.
Oh,
so I'm like, I can see this. A beige linen suit.
There you go. And it's on trend, like the beige, the off-white, the linen look, and just maybe one pocket square. In fact, throw in a nice light blue shirt, just like lift the whole thing, unbuttoned, no accessories in there, just a pin. Beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
Looks very good with that setting. What am I crushing on currently? We're still in the middle of like dropping our new arrivals for winter. They're all dropping.
So what's coming?
I really am feeling the smart casual jackets. I just feel like it's the perfect blend of like how I styled it today. I literally have a gym t-shirt on and just to like smarten it up, I just threw on a smart casual jacket. So that's how easy it is.
Do you always wear the pocket square and the pin?
I do. I have to. It's part of my branding. If I had a PR manager, like my PR manager is on break now, but if she were here, she'd be like, "Joe, branding, you need your pin on." But it's almost like a habit because I style a lot of guys in them. I just want to have one that.
But it makes it dressier straight away, and I think the pocket square and the pin that you've chosen, it's not glitzy. It's kind of understated but cool.
Yeah, so it just adds that little icing on the top. Like that's what pocket squares and pins are meant to do. This one's a gold fly pin, just a mini one, and I've got a Ted Baker little colourful tie dollar. And this is a Gibson jacket, so.
And you can rent this for
pricing. Go check my website.
What's your price range? Like ballpark is.
It starts from now, just because I've got the smart casual range as well. We start from 50 with the chinos. You can now hire chinos. These smart casual, all the linen jackets where you just want to throw on, starts from 90.
That's amazing.
And then you can go all the way up to like the black tie levels are all about 250. And then you can spend all the way to about 350 on the Dolce & Gabbana jacket. So it just depends on your level of spend. And we wanted to give that offering as well, because you have the guys that want to spend big and this is what I want to look like and I'm very refined.
Yeah.
Guys, you get the guys that just want something affordable, just throw on and let's just go. So
that makes sense.
You cater for it all.
And I'm assuming the rental price is depending on how expensive the actual jacket is.
Yes. It just depends on the retail price and the quality and design. How about you?
So what do we rent? Well, similar price range that you can start from $50 if you want a midi dress. The gowns are mostly between $100 and $200, and that means the retail price would be about $300 to $600. We do have some premium dresses that are normally $900, and that's slightly more than $200. But dry clean's included in everything, and I think important. Same. It's just easy. I think we want to make it as easy for the customer as possible. And like you said, if you really want to wear a premium standout dress, I'd much rather still pay $200 than $1,000 and never wear it again.
And they're probably still, like you said, they're paying for your advice and your styling that you do on it. So I mean, that one is like there's no value to that. That one you just provide. I know the amount of clients that always say, why don't you charge for your styling service itself? Because you're sort of like giving all this, but it's not like included in it. I don't want to charge for it. I don't think you want to as well. It's sort of like nice to see the reaction. And
I love it.
I know we spoke about it in the last video about reaction.
Watch the last video. I talk a lot.
Yes. No, she didn't. It was really good. I'm gonna start a podcast.
I feel like this is kind of like a podcast.
I know.
People happen to watch us while we talk.
I know.
She's like, hello.
I was telling her how much I hate a camera on my face, but she doesn't believe it because she watched all my TikTok videos.
I'm trying to figure out. I was figuring out if I make you do a TikTok dance, it doesn't work with this camera setup, but we could pause
Thank
it,
the Lord.
turn it around.
No, you're just gonna go on our Instagram channels and.
Yes.
But don't forget, I'm gonna make you do one today too.
Okay.
I nominated Savage. You better have learned it.
I have not learned it. You can teach me. I'm more than happy to have a lesson. Are you a good dance teacher though, or are you perfectionist? Be like, no.
I'm a good dance teacher. I think my friends would say that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like fun teach. But if you want me to be strict and we've got a competition, then.
Why are we
story.
competing? No.
No, not against each other. We've got both of us go up against North Sydney, and there you go.
Let's just start.
Sign us
somewhere.
up.
You're officially my dance teacher. Tune in next week. Alright, next.
Yep. My answers are really long.
No, but I keep like.
You're a
putting
very
other
good
questions
prober.
in. Really? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Because you set the bar really high. I was like, oh,
Oh no,
I better
you're a
ask
prober
good
on the next
questions.
level.
Oh. Well, how did COVID-19 affect your business?
Oh man. Wasn't that supposed to be the finale? That's
I could
I
change
mean-
it and then we can start again.
Like every other business, we were very affected. We're in the events business, so the moment the gathering numbers were coming down and the limits were being put in place, like I think silently, maybe even you, like I was panicking and all that. Like it was the first 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks was a bit of panic, but a bit of like, okay, we're just gonna start, like we need to get used to this. We need to like take our measures of, like you said, in the video before as well, you said cost cutting, and you said we need to be very smart about it just because we know that we're gonna be in it for a bit. So business was very affected, but at the same time, I've had very good clients. I got in very early with my communication to say, and I was very transparent with my clients. I didn't hide anything. I didn't want to give the impression that, oh, look at us, we're still doing well.
Yeah.
It's not like we've been affected. And the only way you can support us is by not canceling your order, is by postponing the order. And I got that message out very quick. My staff, I called him up and I said, I need this newsletter to go out and I need this messaging to go out. And little did I know, clients responded very well. And they were just like, you provided us good service. No way we're going to cancel it, we'll postpone it. And I made all the changes that I need to make in terms of postponing the date. So I made sure that all my clients that have bookings, I've got bookings till next year already booked. So I've had to like shuffle all of the ones this year to like the later part of this year and to next year. So we just had to be diligent with how we handled it. And I'm very, very thankful I've got very good clients. And at the same time, a lot of it was faith. I'm a very like faith, religion-based person, and I've always been, there must be a reason why this is happening. We may not understand it now, having gone through about 6 weeks of it. There's so many good things that have come out of it, and I always tell myself that there are other people doing it worse. So there must, like I'm very lucky. My store is still at home, and I work that cuts off a lot of the expense out front. So there are businesses that are doing it worse than me. So I always have to just stop and be grateful for where I am.
Yeah.
And like you said, just ride it out for a little bit. And the government has, introduced some health measures. So we'll ride it out until we get the influx again of, when we're back to normal and everyone wants to dress up. We'll be here waiting.
We'll be here with your dresses and suits.
Yes.
And what are you doing with the North Sydney store? Is that open yet, or?
Well, man, we were meant to open it in March with a grand opening, but we have just frozen that for now. And you never know. Like, I am keeping it all a surprise at the moment because you never know. We might just reopen in there straight away, or watch this space.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think it'll be great.
I think you're more excited than me. But can you imagine, like, when we are doing when we have the store, and we spoke about this, to have the guys in there and the girls in here, and then when the guys just, like, when you have one of their boyfriends just waiting and sitting there, you can be like, just go over to the food down there, and I tell all the fiancés, like, while they're waiting, pop over that side.
You know what I should do? I should get rid of the boyfriend chair at the front. Instead, just put a sign there. It's like,
yeah, we'll definitely be
Go.
having a lot of like cross
Go.
stuff, so there you go. Oh, you could say a sign like "Don't sit
nice.
here." Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, don't sit here. Go
Don't
sit
sit
in the
here.
chair
The chair
next
is
door.
that side,
Yeah.
and I'll do the same for the girls.
You're onto my.
Although I do have a nice couch in my stores.
just put like tape on it.
No girls allowed on
Yeah.
the couch.
No girls allowed.
So,
Ah.
is this a...
3 things you might not know about you.
Oh, God.
So what this question is meant to be, 3 things that we might not know
And we
about
still
you.
hadn't changed it from the last video.
Now it turns me. Okay, 3 things. What's the first thing?
Well, you may not have known, you know, that I was born in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. That was where I was raised throughout my whole childhood.
How old were you when you came to Australia?
So I moved to WA with my family, so it was Perth boy. I moved when I was 16, so I finished my last part, so year 11, year 12 in Perth. I did my uni over there, and then I moved to Sydney on my own.
What made you move to Sydney?
Oh man, my parents will be laughing at this because I've told them, how are we going from Kuala Lumpur, like such a busy city, to Perth, where it's, you know, back then, this is like going back, 15 years, was so quiet. And I was like, how am I going to function? Because I'm a big Cosmos city person. In Kuala Lumpur, I was living next to a shopping center that was like the number one. And Malaysian shopping centers, I don't know if you like know of it. Malaysian shopping centers are like 6 stories with 2 blocks, and we've got ice skating rinks, we've got archery. Like you can do everything in the mall in one night. You know, our last screening of our movies in Malaysia is like 1:30 a.m.
When do people sleep? Does it just start later?
You can decide not to sleep. Like you've got those, you know, those mama, like those hawker stores in the street. They open right till 24/7. You could go at 3 a.m. and there could be traffic jam on the highway, and you know, you see guys just watching the soccer, and there's big TV screens on the hawker stores, and that's just.
What's a hawker store?
A hawker store is like a mini like pop-up little restaurant thing that has just like, it's sort of like a food court, and it has little pop-ups around the area in the food court, and the seating sort of like extends into the street. You would love going to Malaysia.
I did a tour guide.
And I heard that even Malaysia and Singapore especially, they've got like Michelin star hawker stores. You know, they're people who have perfected one dish for generations. So
how interesting.
there you go. We need to go on a food journey.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, nice. Alright, that was fact number 1.
Oh man, that was number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, what you may not know. I dance. Maybe you know that.
You said you were a dancer. When did you start dancing?
Well, I was not a professional dancer.
Well, but like,
I just
pretty close.
danced, like me and my best friends in WA got together. Well, actually, scratch that. While I was a child, we had...
in the womb.
No, we're going back. As a child, like, it's funny, my family would throw every New Year. I don't know how it came about. I think my dad said that it was my grandmother or my dad. I'm from an Indian family in Malaysia, and I don't know whether you've seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding or Pride and Prejudice, all these cultured movies. Our families are huge. My Christmas consists of all my aunties and uncles and my cousins at my house. And when you say that, people, you know, like they just think, oh, 10 people. No, it's 100 people. Yes, I have so many cousins, and I have...
That's so cool.
Yeah, on my dad's side, maybe my aunties and uncles are like 7 of them. And then 6 and 7 brothers and sisters on my mom's side. So plenty of children from there. So my Christmases were like 100 people. And loud, and we even used to have the cops coming in on us being too loud. And our Christmases went for like... We went for Christmas Eve Mass, all 100 come to the house, and then we'd be partying right till 6 a.m. with the doors closing at 7 a.m. And for New Year's, we had a dance thing where we would all go gather before New Year's Day. We would all gather in my cousin's house, and she would teach us a set of like different choreography and all the latest songs, and we'd all take it so seriously because we need to perform for the family on New Year's Eve night. So it became this thing that every year we've had to go to this cousin. She was a very good choreographer. Shout out to her, Julie. We had to, so we went there, learned all the dance all together. A lot of cousins would stay there, And then we'd perform for the family with decors at the back and like with changes, costumes. So that dancing was instilled really like early on. But I always had better rhythm than, other people.
Step aside, Julia.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, then after that, it was sort of like, we performed at weddings and cousins' weddings. So it almost like ingrained in us. When I moved to Perth, then I met friends that also were into dancing. So we created this small little Bollywood dance group. That's another thing you didn't know about me. Bollywood dance group. I was part of one. And in Perth, we used to like just charge.
Can I make you do a Bollywood dance?
No, you will not.
What's the move?
No, you will not. Isn't the famous one this?
Yay!
No, that's a very like boring version. So anyway, that's for the next.
Alright. And final fact.
Final fact. I like coffee. I can't think.
What's your favorite food?
Okay. I don't have favorite food. I am a very craving-based person.
Okay.
So I might wake up tomorrow and just be like, I really need Hainanese chicken rice. Or I really need to get my hands on pasta. Like I need pasta, and then I just drive.
Sweet or savoury?
So again,
Depends. I'm the same. It depends on what mood.
But having said that, with sweets, I'm just very cake based. I love my tiramisu and I love a good cake. So cakes. I love cakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing you didn't
Okay.
I keep wanting to read the question. It's like a habit.
I do that. What did you wear to your school formal?
Oh man, I got the question.
You wanted to avoid this one too.
I did.
Quick, change it.
Yeah, and let's hope there's no picture that pops up here. I will not find it. So I hired my suit for my formal in WA. So I hired it.
So you were familiar with the concept?
Yeah, so I did, and I didn't know I was going to start a hire business.
Well, I think secretly that was like your apprenticeship.
Isn't it funny? Like I hired from a very traditional suit hire place in WA, and funnily enough, I did have the option of going for the coattails, which I didn't. But I picked a very cool gold vest inside. It was not that shiny. It was just like a matte gold vest with a black tuxedo.
Cool.
And mind you, had I had the option today, I would probably not done black. If I had the options that I had today, probably would have done something a little bit more exciting. But
Sure.
you know.
Trying to think back.
Should we have another formal just for us?
That would be really nice.
That is a good idea. Mr. Fierze and dress for a night formal. Like redo your formal dress well.
Well, yeah. Mind you, my formal dress wasn't that terrible actually. You'd be surprised.
No, but you said everyone was wearing red, right?
I was wearing red.
Really, you said
Oh no, but everybody was
red.
wearing the same style in other colours.
Yeah, but had you had these options today, that what you're offering, would it have been a bit different?
I would have rented it. I definitely would have rented it. I wouldn't have bought it.
Would you have gone for different? Like, would you have maybe ventured into something you wouldn't have normally won?
I think I would have just. I think it just.
You're kidding me. Don't say you're gonna stick to red.
You're like stick to red. I think my biggest regret is that I bought it, not rented it, because my parents would have spent what, like $500 on it,
true.
and then it sits in your wardrobe.
How many times did you wear it after?
Oh, exactly. My apprenticeship was on eBay. I started selling on eBay. That was kind of how I learned how to sell things online. Because
I suck at eBay.
Oh yeah, that's how I learned how to run online. Because I was like, oh, I'm just going to sell all the things.
Okay.
But yeah, a girl bought it on eBay. But she would have paid way less for it. And I guess, with rental, what I think is so great about rentals is that you know what you're getting is going to be good quality. Because buying something on eBay, you save a lot of money, but what arrives to your doorstep could be very different to what you see online. And I think renting from a reputable business, you know what you're going to get is what the picture shows online. Yeah,
and it's surprising, like, while you're doing your online hires, the amount of people that still want to come into store just to try the outfit is stacked. Well, much more with the men's. Like, it's very different with the men's. We cannot do online, in fact, just because everyone's body proportion is so different. Like, on paper, a guy might fit a certain size, and he might show up and he's actually not that size, just because paper wise, he's gonna fit perfectly, but he might have a little bit of a gut, or he might have extra slim waist, or larger, like broader shoulder.
Absolutely.
That, you know, maybe this happens and you need to like be one size up so it fits beautifully. So men's very different. Like it's that.
No, I agree with you though. That because if you, for example, get a dress and it's backless or it's adjustable, it's so much easier. Plus, what we found as well, having sizing charts online, even if you measure yourself, there's so much variance in how somebody measures themselves. So I'd say absolutely use an online sizing chart, but it's always really great to get in touch with, like for us, we obviously rent online and we send lots of dresses interstate, but it's always really good to check in with us directly to just get a bit of advice on making sure that you get the perfect fit, because we do a lot of stretch dresses, but I guess there is no such thing as a stretch suit.
Yeah, no, there isn't. Well,
there goes that. Maybe there should be.
Maybe not for high. Maybe that one in your staple. So.
Okay. Yeah, let me get all parts that you can.
Give me the question.
Okay. No new business. Stretch suit is not a thing, Roxy. We're moving on. Okay. What were you doing 5 years ago?
Oh man, I got that question too. Okay, what was I doing 5 years ago?
Where were you 5 years ago? Were you in Sydney?
I was in Sydney. I think I was still a turning guy, maybe mid turning guy years. And
have you started the business then or not? No, you said
I started the business.
Oh,
So business is what, like, okay, no, maybe I got it wrong actually. No, I hadn't started business. Business only like maybe 2.5 years old. So 5 years back, I was head of marketing for Turning Guy, working in beauty, and struggling to find some, and spending way too much. Simple answer.
Spending way too much. What's the most expensive suit you ever regretted buying?
Do you know what's really something you don't know about me? It's very interesting. Is I actually didn't own a lot of suits. With a lot of my workplaces, the suits were just for events. So I really only ever owned one suit.
So but you did tell us earlier that you had to go, the reason why you started the business, that you had to go to all these events. What did you wear to the events?
So when I went to the events, I sort of like did a lot of borrowing from friends just because, and I had a lot of brands that worked with me as well, just with Turning Guy affiliates. So I would wear them just for branding and then Instagram them and then return the suit. So I was really lucky that way. But that's why I said when I had to go and like, when I wanted something on my own and I wanted to go out, I had to buy it. I did sort of like give away a lot of suits, so that's why I don't really own a lot of it anymore. And I've lost my thought there.
But I think what you're saying is with renting suits, the other thing is the time factor. And that's what we find as well. A lot of people come in for renting the dress, I'm sure the suit as well, last minute, because it's just easy to do. You can go somewhere, like you said, with even if you get gifted something or you have access to a suit, it's getting it in time, the style that you want in time for the event. So a lot of people love kind of the store in North Sydney because they know it's a one-stop shop. They can come in and walk out with something and don't have to spend much time
and it's also timing. You're all like we're all busy people, and the last thing we want is, like you said, to have no clue and then go through the whole store and then have to flick racks and you know what goes with what. So that's why that whole styling experience comes into play. Is I go there, I know that they can style me up. I don't need to worry about anything. I just say this is the event, this is the date, and boom, I walk out of there. And most of our appointments, really, guys ask me this all the time, like how long does it take for us to be styled? I'm like, if you're decisive and you know exactly like what I show you and you like, it really only takes 15 to 20 minutes, like the whole experience. Pretty quick.
I think if you know what you want, it can be really quick. And I think sometimes renting closer to the event date has the benefit of you can figure out what mood you're in. Sometimes you don't know if you're going to wake up and you want to look like a rock star or a princess.
Exactly.
So,
I think it really helps with guys. I found that a lot of my clientele, when they come in, they're sort of like very open. So they sort of like know that, you know, there's someone that's there to style me. So they come in very open-minded. So for me to suggest things is very easy. And I've trained my staff that way as well. I tell them to not take the easy route and listen to the client in terms of if they want black, don't just go grab the black. suggest, like ask them, would you like to try this? It's very in right now, but it's subtle. Like it's going to give you that point of difference. That's really how I've managed to like get guys into a lot of different things, because I don't take the easy route.
Yeah, nice.
If I were to just grab the black tuxedo when guys ask me that, you'd probably see a sea of pictures of guys in black. But you don't see that. You see guys in all kinds of different things, because you just have to be very intuitive. You need to know what's their style essence from that little conversation that you've had, and then push the envelope a little bit.
Try this.
Yeah,
it's here. You might as well.
A lot of my business is nudging guys.
Yeah.
Nudging them a little bit here and then. Boom. The moment I always tell my staff, I always laugh about it. It's like you nudge them a little bit, and then the moment it just clicks in their head and they start playing dress up. The moment it just clicks and they're like, oh man,
this is fun.
This is fun. I've not had this experience. They start to like try all these different things. Then I have to tell them, okay, no. Yeah, you need to just try 3 suits, because I have a formula in my store. You try only 3 looks. The moment you go beyond 3, I find guys get confused.
Ah, interesting.
The moment you go to the 4th, they're like, oh man, I don't know anymore. I'm like, really need 3. So usually the first one's always good. Second one's like, oh, that's a nice alternative. By the 3rd, they're like, oh shit, they're already starting to like think. And by the 4th, they're like, oh my god, frazzled.
Okay. Are we doing? How many more questions are we doing?
I don't know.
1 or 2?
Maybe 2 more. Let's do 2 more.
You've been listening to us for a while.
Oh man.
Thanks for being here.
Should we just do 2 last questions?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like time's running.
I know. I'm like,
how is it?
Getting
like
hungry.
I know. You're taking me for lunch.
Can't go anywhere.
Let's try takeaway.
What's your favorite thing at work?
Didn't I answer that already?
Oh,
yeah. She smacked the question back.
I'm now picking questions that I want to ask.
Oh yeah, because I did that for your last 2.
How long does it take you to get ready?
Oh man, that was a big question for me. Depends. If I am just quickly, what people will see like on my Instagram is that I always like to be gym clothes or like smart, just casual clothes on my day to day. Just because we work in this industry of like dressy, suited up, people just think like you're on suit 24/7, but you want comfort when you're off, off duty.
It's either activewear or ball gowns.
Exactly.
There's no in between.
Exactly. So so that's funny you say that, because I don't spend a lot of money on casual clothes, like the nice streetwear version of it. I'm just like really dressy or really off duty. It's nothing in between. So all my really off duty is just like a hoodie and like very messy looking, and I don't care about it. I'm just like, I'm off duty, nobody talk to me, nobody touch me.
So how long does it take you if you're getting ready?
When I am fully getting ready, it takes me a good 1 hour. I think I mentioned this to you.
But what, like my hair takes me a long time.
A full hour. It takes me a full hour. Like, I'm a makeup artist by trade, so a lot of my things are like putting quick hacks to make sure my eyebrows are not gapped. You wouldn't know that from here.
Yeah, you're like, if you want to look more, they do look really good though. I was looking at them, I was like, they're in really good shape.
All hacks. And I even mentioned to you before, I have like skin issues around my eyes. I get them all covered, so you'd never know. I actually have vitiligo, but you would never know that. Around my skin. That's one thing you didn't know about me. That's 4 things you don't know about me. I have vitiligo.
What is? You might have to just give us a little rundown what that is in a short version.
Vitiligo. You can see it in my hand clearance. I'll show this. I never usually show all these things. You're getting a.
Is that why you wear bracelets?
Yes. You're getting an exclusive. So that's like pigmentation.
Yeah.
So it's when your pigmentation goes awry, and like on darker skins, it's a lot more. Like Winnie Harlow.
Is that the model?
The model that has all the vitiligo on her face. She's made it cool to have vitiligo.
I know.
But it's far from the truth when you're growing up with it. I grew up with
Imagine,
it.
Yeah.
And so I've had it on my hands. I have it on my feet. I'm lucky with where it's placed. Some people get albino, which is like the more aggressive version of pigmentation. It's when your whole skin becomes white. Funny you say, because I've had a friend's auntie who's completely changed. And he went perfectly white, so it's almost like one day.
So does it progress?
It's meant to grow, and there's no cure. It's almost hereditary, but also sort of like in your gene, and there's just all kinds of explanation for it. But it's just there, and it almost never gets cured. I was lucky that through some religious and like a lot of faith and like meeting a good doctor in Malaysia who was very natural based, mind you. Mine shrunk. When I first had vitiligo, it was literally that big. Oh, it's like a panda bear. I got teased. I was called panda. So
how old were you?
I was 10, 11. And this went on for like till 15, 16.
So I want to hug that little version of you.
The little best fingers right now. So it's quite big, and over time with the healing and stuff, it just became like maybe top lid.
Because I'm trying to see it and I can't.
I have to rub it up. I'm not going to rub it up. So it's like at the bottom here, and then here, and then here. Just like little specks. I think God purposely left them there just to remind me, don't forget who you were. So yeah,
How interesting.
Yeah.
Look where that.
I know. What was the question?
What
was
took
the
us?
question? Oh,
Anyway, we'll go to the next question. Oh no, we haven't asked this one.
Oh, did you have that lined up already?
I think so. This will be the last one. Let me.
Oh, anyways, how long does it take you to get ready? 1 hour. Because I need to like get this right, and this right, and then all this follows.
You can choose between those two.
Which she is allowing me to choose.
Yeah. We have one more. But it's kind of fun to talk. But we've been going for
I know,
we've
been going for a while. No, I'd give this one.
This one?
Yeah.
Ah.
The other one seems.
What advice would you give yourself 3 years ago?
Do I want to do that one, or do I want to give advice to the younger? Or should I amalgamate all of them?
It was really funny when we were writing these questions. We're like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Now we just get excited what we want to answer.
I know. Now I just
So what advice would you give maybe younger you or somebody that's starting off their own business?
Yeah. I think I interjected in your last video, which I'm going to repeat again, was when I said about there's never that perfect scenario to start. Watch your last video, by the way. I explained it really well.
I was really good in that.
Yeah, I was really good. This one's a summary version. Is when you feel it in your gut that this is something that you're passionate about, you're very fired up about it. That's what I said in the last video. But I'll add another element to that, is also knowing your product and knowing that there's a gap in the market. So when I first started my hire business, which was like you as well, you probably saw a gap. And I saw that as well, like clear as day.
You just wanted that thing to exist.
Yes, and business will really do well when you're trying to fill a gap, fill a need, and then educate people that why do you need this? It's because it's solving this problem. From all my business learnings and listening to people that I look up to, it's always the same theme. It's always about filling a need and doing it your way. Then it's what you do with it. How creative do you want to be about it? So there's never that perfect time, but when you feel that right deep inside your gut, you've got the right product, now you just need to go to market, you just start. And then you learn everything else along the way. That's exactly how you started, that's how I started. I had a living room in Utro Bay. Would I have preferred a store? Yes. But was it meant to be then? No. It was just meant to start. Would I have wanted my first few clients to see my messy dining table over there? No. But you learn. Like from that I learned, add this, add that element, add that. Oh man, guys now want shirts. I didn't start with shirts. So okay, now there's a demand for that. Let's start shirts. Let's start a small range. Now let's start different colors. Now let's see, guys want smart casual. That's how I started smart casual. I never thought there was a need for that, because with guys I just assumed that they might want to hire black tie because they may not own that. But maybe it's just smart casual, like they'd have something in their closet. When I launched a smart casual and chinos, guys are coming again to be styled, look really good for the races. I have CEO clientele that have been following me from day one. A lot of these entrepreneurs that do a lot of these content videos and stuff, and they want a jacket to throw on.
Nice.
So just like this, I would have styled this on someone. They want to look like it's not been styled, it's effortless, but it's actually been styled by you or me. So
I think that's really good advice to say to anybody that starts a business, if you can start small,
Yes.
it's a real, because it's less risk.
It is.
And if
It
you're
is.
testing a market, you never want to enter a market that you don't want to be the first one out there.
Exactly.
But you want to be there at the right time.
Yes.
And it could flop, but I think it's kind of, you're testing the market if you're starting
Exactly.
small. I think that's really, really smart.
And I think if we look at everything as flops, I don't think we'd be where we are today. Because I think, we started the business, but we were very ready to learn. So everything, there might be mini flops here and there, like mistakes that we spoke about as well before. I might have made a financial mistake here, I might have made a mistake here. We just learn and we problem solve with each scenario, and you grow. So you're gonna get 10 wins, you might get 11 fails that didn't work. You don't harp on the 11. It's sort of like, how do I solve that, make that into a better system or a better procedure or a better experience, and then it becomes a win in the end. So that's my advice. Number 2 is be very, very passionate. I can tell you that.
Not just passionate, but very, very passionate.
Yes, very passionate and very hardworking. Don't think it's all going to fly from the sky.
I've never worked as hard.
Oh man, like, you know what? I have this term that I always say: most challenging, most rewarding. That's my 4 words that I say, because nothing has challenged me as much as business. Like, because you're on your own, you have to problem solve everything, and in the end it's always just you motivating yourself, you doing this, you doing that. So it's been the most challenging, but also the most rewarding. I think nothing beats the feeling of having clients leave so happy from your idea. And I always say, go for it. Like, it's not something you want to miss. If you have a business idea and you're very passionate about it and you're willing to put the hard work, do it, because it is, like, I know a lot of times, even myself, like you sort of like get caught up on all the work and the tough,
the how,
but we need to talk more about the positive side, which is like how rewarding it is. So,
the why,
and it is very rewarding. So I suggest doing it.
I love it.
There you go.
Well, that brings us to the end of our fun little chat.
1
Thanks so
hour
much
later.
for hanging out today. And we shall see you next time.
Thank
Apparently,
you.
we're wearing ball gowns.
And we're doing a dance. Well, not shoes. See you then.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.